Okay, the P and the F. Okay, what is number of N? Right. 4, 5, N. So it's the I. Number 10%. Okay, something like that. Right. So the second one is body. You have to find P. Okay, F is given. P is a what the same Castor diagram. Okay, remember that you have to draw the Castor diagram to get the extra mark. It's not compulsory, but you give the extra mark. Okay, because you just suspect the information from the question to the Castor diagram. So make sure that you understand very very well about the Castor diagram. So if you use the formula using the table, we call it as a standard factor notation. Okay, we call it factor notation. Factor notation. Okay, if you use the formula, we can say it using the formula. If you use the table, we call it a factor notation. So that means that we have to use this one. Okay, so how to write the formula, the standard factor notation in the question. Okay. Right, so that means that we have to know. Okay, the first one is about the Castor diagram and the formula. You have to remember. And it depends on this. Okay, for the first thing, the first cycle, we just discuss about the S over P and P over. So that means that first one. Okay. Please remember how to write the standard factor notation, because some of the students do a very simple mistake. Okay, that means the first one. Okay, F O P comma I. Okay, that means that you have to find F P is given with a N number. Then you have to write the formula. Okay. So that means that from this one, okay, example the first one, F, you have to find F is a P. Okay, F over P I. This one you have to write for the standard factor notation. That means it's a ulang kan. F P F P. Okay, sometimes student do a mistake. F over P, this one P over F I. So you do the mistake. Okay, so dalam tulisan. Okay, FP or PF or FP PF PF. Okay, make sure that what the you have to find F, you have to write this one. If ask about the P, you have to write. Boleh tak? Question so far? Doing good. You nampak kan saya cakap kat sini kan? Nampak kat slide kan?
Nampak.
Nampak apa je? For example, okay, find the future value using the formula. Okay, we can compare it using the formula and using the table. Right. So, this example, a person deposit 5,000 ringgit into an account with of 8% year. The per year, the amount in the account after 10 years is process to that when you see this right keyword amount after 10 years, that means the future, right? So you have to find the future. So the 5,000 is a deposit, is a P is a present. So this so you get the info here about the parameter, and then you do the formula. That means that you know that because you have to find F equal to P is given S over P I N. Right, sama this one. Okay. So kalau you menggunakan formula, this one is a formula. Okay, this one is a standard vector notation. Okay, ni pun notation. This one is a kalau formula tadi tengok dekat slide yang atas tadi. You use this one formula. Yang ni the vector notation. Okay. If you're using the formula, okay, you just put it in the formula F equal P 1 plus I. I is the interest. That means 0.08 power of 10 is n, right? 10 ni adalah dekat after 10. So that means after you do the calculation, equal by this number, you will get this. So, this one is using the formula. And this one is a very simple question. Okay, you can easily use the formula. And before that, from this information, okay, what you said before, just to convert it to the cash flow diagram. Okay, that means that just the straight cash flow diagram have to P is given, the 5,000, and then F you have to find it. Okay, and then number of years 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Assalamualaikum doktor.
Ya, salam.
Nak tanya, kelas ni ada recording tak?
Okay, tak record. Nak record ke?
Aha.
Sebab kalau saya ada record the previous one lah, tapi dalam YouTube link. Nanti saya bagi link dia.
Yang tu pun okey juga sebab kadang-kadang lepas habis kelas saya nak tengok balik. Kalau yang previous kelas maksudnya yang semester lepas ke yang semester ni punya doktor?
Semester lepas.
Okey juga, yang tu pun okey juga doktor sebab doktor dah ada record.
Just same topik je, the same topik.
Okey, sure.
Ini saya record juga.
Okey, thank you doktor.
Doktor, kita tak boleh dengar lah doktor. You dah mute.
Sorry, dengar Okay, thank you. Alright, so the first thing I told before, you have to draw the cash flow diagram, okay? Because the majority of the question is from the sentences. Okay, that means that you just to extract from the question, okay? Then you have to cash flow diagram. Okay, do the cash flow diagram. then this is the extra mark. Then you do the solution here, right? Okay. Alright, next, using tables. Okay, the first one we have discussed about using the formula. Okay, the second one is using the table. That means that we start as the standard factor notation. Okay, actually the same question. That means that you have to given by the P, okay, 5,000, and then you have to find the at year 10. Okay, so the same thing, you have to draw the capital diagram. Okay, this one. Then you know that we have to find the F, right? So you have to find the F over equal to the P is given F over P I N, right? Then just write, okay, 5,000, F equal to 5,000, P is given, right? So F over P function, okay, I is a 8%, and the number of N is a 10, right? So from this information, we just refer to the table. Okay, so how to refer to the table? Okay, so this is a different table lah. So the first thing, when you refer to the table, okay, please open the table to make it easy. The first thing you have to refer the interest, the I, because the table, the majority and the table is about the I. Okay, you have to find the I first. Okay, then from the table, here is example is a 5%. So just refer to the 5% table. Then you refer to the first column, F over P. Okay, tadi contoh tadi adalah 8%, and then you have to refer F over P, the first column here. Okay, and then the number of here is a 10. So refer to the 10. Here the 10. Faham tak? Faham tak? Contoh kat sini tadi, kalau kita padam lah ya. Okay, jangan refer kat sini lah, kita refer kat sini.
Excuse me, doctor, can you explain again about how to
I explain
find
again, don't worry about it. Okay, I explain again, refer to this example, this table example, right? So let's see that the number of okay, the example, you have to find P. Okay, you have to find P. Okay, I is a 5%, and then you have to column P over F. Okay, that means from the formula, okay, you have to find P. Okay, and then F is given P over F, I 5%, number of N is a 4. Okay, so this one is a N is a 4. That means that from this, okay, from this formula, you find from the I first. I is a 5%. So refer to the table, it's a 5% here. Okay, 5% here. Okay, open the table I given to you, it's a 5%. And you refer to this one is the first one. The second one refer to the column P over F. So P over F is a second column. Okay, this column. That's the P over F column. Right? And then the third one, you have to find the number of N. Number of F is a 4. It's a 4. So get the numbers here. 0 is a, so that means that from this formula, okay, you masuk the number, just in the numbers here, 0.8227. Boleh? 10. So you have a table. Try to
Understood.
yes. Question? Yeah. So from this table, try to find this one. Okay. You just add the 8%. Okay. And then the column P, 8 and 10. You get this number tak? You get this number? 2.1 2.1589. You get this number from the table? Please, just refer to the table.
Doctor, I already refer.
Jumpa, dapat
Yep.
Ya ada? Jumpa tak? Just jumpa tak? Dia dapat tak?
Dapat.
Dapat. So understand
Fine.
So easy right? Very easy. So make sure that the silly mistake from the student is about this column. Okay, you write the wrong column, and then you refer to the wrong column, and then make sure that you just maybe you use the ruler to find the numbers. You have to use this column. Okay, and then from the year 4, that means you have to find this one. And sometimes you are very rushy, okay, you just take this number, the second column, so it's wrong. Then of course the answer from you is wrong. So make sure that you define the correct number. Alright, we go to the next slide. Okay, example, find the future value. That means that we have to find the future. Okay, a person deposit 8,000 ringgit which pay interest at a rate of 8%. Okay, per year. The amount in the account after 5 years is closest to. That means that you have to find F. Okay, 5 years. E is given. Okay, that means that the F equal to P F over P I N, or F equal to 8,000 ringgit F over P I is a 8%, N is a 5. Same as this one. Then from this information, refer to the table, you get this number, and then get the so that you draw the cash diagram. Clear that one?
Yes, Doctor.
So the first question is about the finding future value. So the second one, you have to find the present value. That means you have to find okay. The small company wants to make a single deposit now, so it will have enough money to purchase a backhoe costing 50,000 ringgit 5 years from now. Okay, if the account will earn interest of 10% per year, the amount that must be deposited now is nearest to. The word here is must be deposited now is closest to. That means you have to find E. Okay, F is given after 5 years. Right. So that means that it's a E F E over F I is a 10% per year. Number N is a 5 years. 5. Okay, that means that you can use formula or table. Okay, this one, the solution given to you is from the formula. Okay, you can use the formula. It's okay, no problem at all. But it gives you the quite difficult to solve the problem. Okay, right. So use the formula. Use the formula. You can refer to the table of the formula. Okay, and then you just the parameter, and you get the answer. Okay, or you use the table. Okay, then refer to the refer to the 10%. F column and N prime. So you get the numbers multiplied by 50,000 ringgit, you will get this answer. Okay, 31,045 ringgit. Okay, right. So this one is using the formula. Okay, same as discussed. So using the table. Okay, so no problem. Also, you can use either one. Okay, you can use either one. But to me, to make a quick time to solve the problem, please use the table. Okay. So next example here. Okay, a small company want to make a single deposit now. The keyword here is a single deposit now. So it will have enough money to purchase a backhoe costing 40,000 ringgit 3 years from now. If the account will earn interest of 10% per year, the amount that must be deposited now is nearer to. So that means that have to find P. Right. This one is a F. And this one is a 3 years from now is a N. Okay, this one is a I. Okay, so you know that have to find P. F is given P over F 10% and 3 years. So same as 1. Okay, refer to the table. Okay, you get this number and then you get the answer. Make sure that you use Expo PID. Yeah, okay, question so far? Okay, so far okay. Right. Okay, I'll go to the next slide. Okay, this uniform series that involve PA and AP. Okay, so the first slide tadi, we just discussed about the F over P or P over F. So the next is about the P over A and A over P. That means the parameter involved is about the present. Okay, the present, the annual. Okay, that's mean annual. That means that is a per year. Okay, P is a present. So that means that you can see for the table, okay, P over A, okay, is a like this. Okay, so you have to find P. A is given, or you have to find A. Okay, P is given. That means that is annual. That means every year. Okay, every year. So with that, you have to find P. A is given. P over A, I, N. Okay, or you have to find A. P is given. A over P, I. Okay, make sure AP, AP, PA, PA. Okay, that. Don't make a mistake. Right? Okay, so this example. Okay, the cash flow amount is same in each interest period. Because it's annual, that means that every year you have to pay or deposit 200 ringgit. So from year 1, okay, until year 5 is the same number, same amount of money. Okay, that means every year you have to deposit 200 ringgit. Okay, so remember that if the arrow is up, it's a deposit. You get the money. And if the arrow is down, it's a disbursement. That means the money is outflow. Okay, if it's inflow, it's a remember that. Don't make a mistake. Okay, this one you have to find E. Okay, this one is present. The number is a 5 and is a so this show to you is about the formula. Okay, if you are boring to use the table, okay, you can use the formula. So you have to remember this formula. Okay, for the P over A, okay, you use this formula. Okay, 1 plus I power of n minus 1 per I bracket 1 plus I power of n. Okay, O A over P, I bracket 1 plus I power of n per 1 plus I power of n minus 1. Okay, you can use this one. It's okay, no problem at all. Okay, will make it easy. Use this. Just use this table function. Okay, nah kan, no need to write very detailed the numbers inside the formula. Okay, so very easy. Then open the table, you will get the. Alright, this example. Yeah, uniform solution involving P over A. A chemical engineer believes that by modifying the structure of a certain water treatment polymer, this company would earn an extra 5,000 per year. This is a keyword. An extra 5,000 per year. Okay, and an interest rate of 10% per year. Determine how much could the company afford to spend now. Okay, to just break even over 5 years project period. Let's mean that from this information we get from the question is A is a 5,000 per year, and then I is a 10%. Okay, spend now, don't know. Then the number N is a 5. And we know that because we have to find P is a P equal to A is given P over A, I 10% is 5 numbers. Okay, same as this one.
Doktor,
Yes,
ada student tak nampak apa you writing on the screen.
tak nampak, alamak.
Ada
Apa
student
yang tak nampak?
cakap
How many of you tak nampak? Patutnya okey. How many of you tak nampak? Yang lain kan? Yang lain nampak tak? Majoriti nampak tak? Okay nah. Kalau kita nampak tu maybe your line not very strong. Try you keluar, you masuk balik. Majority of you nampak apa saya tulis. So yang tak nampak tu please left dulu and then you masuk balik. Okay, so kalau tak nampak tu maybe online is a problem, but don't worry about it. I record this session, so I will share it di dalam Yula nanti ataupun dalam kita punya our WhatsApp. Okay, can So back to the question. Okay, we know that you have to find the P. A is given. Okay, same as this one. Now refer to the tables. You should get this number 3.79008, and then after you multiple the numbers, you will get this answer 80,000 ringgit 954. Okay. So this one is a P over A present. You have to find present A is given. Okay. Next is about the F over A. Okay, the future. Okay, you have to find F, A is given, or to find A, F is given. Okay. So from this one, F is a future. That means there is the end of the year. Okay, with the end of what number of years? Okay, if you give the n is 5, so in the end of year 5, you have to find F, right? Okay. This one is given. It's given. Okay. So this one you have to find F. This one you have to find is meant to you. So make sure that this formula is a correct way. Okay, make sure that. So we go to the example here. An industrial engineer made a modification manufacturing process that will save a company 10,000 ringgit per year. At an interest rate of 8% per year, how much will be the service amount to in 7 years? And that means that the information given is pada 10% per year. This one is a A. This one is a how much saving amount into the 7 years. Okay, the N is a 7. That means that because it's about the saving amount into in 5 years is a F, the future. Okay, after 7 years. So what happened? How many amounts? So you have to find, right? So we know that F, you have to find F. A is given F over A, I 8%, N is the 7. Same as this one. And from this column, go to the tables. Okay, you find the 8%, find the FA column, and then number of N is 7. So you should get this number. Okay?
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes.
Why the arrow in the 7th year is pointing upward as a cash outflow? Because the amount is savings, it should be
much will the saving amount to in 7 years? So you save the money.
saving the money is inflow or outflow.
Which one? Inflow or outflow? Saving your money.
Oh, inflow.
Inflow. Inflow ke
Yes.
outflow?
Inflow.
So is it up or down?
It should be down.
Down outflow.
Down outflow.
Yes,
Oh,
up
okay.
inflow.
So how come the saving 10,000 per year is down as well? It should be up because it's saving as well.
Oh, yes, the word is savings. The company 10,000 per year, but they have to pay every year 10,000 ringgit.
So are they paying or saving per year?
That means that they have to pay. They have to pay every year. So that means that is a outflow.
Oh,
Yes, the keyword here is about the will save her company 10,000 per year. Actually, he didn't give you the exact numbers. Okay, just a 10,000 ringgit. But the word here is a will saving. Then you have to pay every year. That means when you have to pay every year is a outflow.
okay, I understand.
Something like the English here is quite confusing. Don't worry about it. Yeah, in the exact question, it's quite clear. Okay, the example maybe you're confused about the word here. Okay, but you have to bear in mind that that means you have to pay every year or you receive every year. Okay, pay or receive, inflow or outflow every year. Okay, it depends. Okay, for this one because it just said the say for a company 10,000 per year, that means that they have to pay every year. Okay, that's why the arrow is a flow. Okay, this down. Right. So we get this number. Okay, this answers. So the answer is a C. Okay. Right. So next, vector values for untabulated I or N. That means that you have to find I or N. Okay. We know that I. Okay, because when you refer to the tables, okay, you have to find I first. Correct. because you know that, yeah, I'm not mistaken, the tables is from the 1% until to 100%. Is it correct? Can from the table. So that means that it's quite thick, thick of the papers. That means that if you have to find I, it's quite difficult, because you have to see every pages of the tables. Okay, you see which one is the I. Sometimes the I is a decimal number, maybe 8.25%. So if you find the 8.25%, is it as not exist in the tables, right? So you have to find something else. Okay, but you have to refer back to the table how to find it. Okay, it's okay. But here it says you have to find ION. That means that you have three ways, okay, to find practical values for untabulated ION. The first one we have used the formula. Okay, the formula given before. You can use it, no problem at all. And the second one, use spreadsheet function. So this one we not discuss in detail in our scope. Okay, just to show to you. It's the outside, you can use the spreadsheet function. But in this subject, in this course, we not discuss in detail about the spreadsheet function. Okay, the third one, a very famous one, you use the linear interpolate and interest table. Okay, that means we use the interpolation. And because maybe your answer is between 8 and 9% I. Okay, so cannot give the number in between, in the range, okay? 8, 9%. We have to give the exact numbers of I. That means you have to use the interpolation. Because it's interpolation. But you have to refer to the table from the numbers and then you do the interpolation. Okay. Right. So we give you the example here. Okay. Determine the value for F over P 8%, 10. Okay. So from the formula, okay, there actually because it's a I, it's a I, it's a N, it's a to find P is given, right? So use the formula. We know the formula I plus I, 1 plus I power of N. This means that you key in the numbers and then you will get this answer. Okay, 2.2197. So, okay. Okay, and then sheet function, same one, you just key in the formula, you still get the same numbers. Okay, for the interpolation, okay, we know that because from the tables, the numbers given only from 8%, 9%. Therefore, no numbers between 8 to 9%. Okay, so you have to do the interpolation here. So that means that if you refer to the table, 8% is at this column, F over P dengan N to 10, you will get this number. Okay, and then the 9%, so you will get this number. So you have to find 8.3%. So what is the X? Okay, so we just do the interpolation. Okay, so this is the interpolation. So please use this step of interpolation, okay, from this one. Okay, and then you will get 2.2215. If you refer to this number, it say it's a quite high, but to ours is not. It's okay, no problem at all because it gives you only how many percent? Yeah? I think it's about the less than 5%. Okay, to me, if the answer is less than 5% or the maximum is about 10%, it's okay to me. The answer is still correct. Okay, it's not problem at all. Okay, don't worry about the exact numbers. Okay, sometimes your calculator give the different answer kan. Kadang-kadang because of the decimal number. Okay, some of the student you use the maybe three decimal number. So you give the more higher numbers answers. But it's okay to me. 5 to 10% from the answers, different answer is okay, no problem at all. I will accept it. Don't worry about it. Okay, so hopefully that you use the interpolation based from this one. Okay, so you have to remember the step of the do the interpolation. Can for the different only 0.0018 saja. Okay, no problem at all. Can Eh? Eh? Boleh tak? Dia tidur dah. Ngantuk apa?
Boleh, Doktor.
Eh? Okay, good.
Can.
So next is about the arithmetic gradients. So the more difficult one. Okay. What is a arithmetic gradient one? Okay, arithmetic gradient change by the same amount each period. Okay. The cash flow diagram for the PG, okay, of the arithmetic gradient is this one. This means that G, the gradient start between period 1 and 2, not between 0 and 1. Why? Okay, give you the example. Okay, that means that the gradient start here at year 2, 1 to 2. We start here. Okay, because we go that the 1 is a base number. It's a base. Then the differences between the number year 1 and year 2 is a gradient. Okay, then they give the uniform gradient, uniform extra. For example, every year they add 50 ringgit. Okay, that means the year 1 is a 50 ringgit. Year 2 is a 100 ringgit. Year 3 is a 150 ringgit. Year 4 is a 200 ringgit. So the gradient itself is a 50 ringgit, right? So it start from the year 2. The differences between the year 1, the base one. So this is a gradient. That's why the gradient is start at period 1 and faham tak kat situ? Nanti kita tengok, we go to the example. So get the clear cut. Okay. So the explanation is because cash flow in year 1 is usually not equal to gradient and is handled separately as a base amount. Because the year 4 is a base amount. The differences between year 2 and year 1 is we call it a gradient. Okay. So note that PG is located 2 period ahead. This means it's a year 2. Okay, the first chain that is equal to B to G. Okay, it's depend on the question lah. So we go here. Example here. Okay, typical arithmetic gradient cash flow. So that means that at year first is a start for 400 ringgit. And then after the year 1, we get add the extra 50 ringgit. That means the gradient start is a here. G is a 50 ringgit. Okay. G is a 50 ringgit. Gradient is a 50 ringgit. The base one is a 400 ringgit. So the gradient is start. But the calculation start as a normal one, as a year 1. Okay, you not start from the year 2. Just to remember that. Don't make confusion. Don't make confused. The calculation as usual. Okay, but the gradient start as about the gradient. The because the theoretical, the gradient start from the year 2. Okay, so actually for calculate the arithmetic gradient, okay, AG, okay, is divided by 2 calculation. Okay, kalau yang tadi before we discuss about the PF, FP, PE, okay, FE, they just one shot kan. Dia calculation just one shot. They give the formula and then you refer to the table, you get the numbers. But for the AG, they calculated by 2 section. Okay, divided by 2. The first one is a usual one. Okay, the normal one. That means that you know that the gradient is a G is a 50 ringgit, right? So the first one, you just use the base one. Okay, that's a 400 ringgit. That means the 400 ringgit is a A. And that means that you have to find P first. Okay, you have to find P. A is given P over A I N. Okay, that means that A is a 400 ringgit. Okay, just big the base one. Okay, so the second one is about the gradient itself. Okay, make sure that from this cash flow diagram ni, from cash flow diagram ni, draw back, we start from the year 2 because it differences between year 2 and year 1 is a 50 ringgit, right? So we know that it's a gradient. You have to find, it's still the same, it's a EG A, because A, okay, because the arithmetic is a A is a 50 ringgit. Okay, EG, sorry, it's not A. It's not A, yeah. It's a G. Gradient PG I N. Okay. So the last one is the total. Mana sekarang ni P1 plus is a sus. Okay, make sure that you just calculate each one. Okay, the normal one here, okay, for the A1, and then second one is the gradient. Okay, and then we just add, you get the answers. Faham tak? Faham tak?
Faham, Doktor.
Faham, eh? So that means you have to divide. Okay, first thing you have to divide. Okay, good. So next, you give to the tricky question, and then because we know that the anometric gradients, okay, we have to add a year to year is a gradient. That means uniform. 50 ringgit from year, example from year 1 until year 5. 50 ringgit, 50 ringgit, 50 ringgit. For example, before, you start from 400 ringgit, 440, 500, 550, 300, 70, etc. Can. So what happened if the company or you don't want to add extra 50 ringgit each year? They want to pay you same every year. Okay, that means that you have to convert back. Okay, that means every year you have to add 50 ringgit. Can. Plus 50 ringgit, plus 50 ringgit, plus 50 ringgit. Okay, but you have to change it. You have to pay same amount every year. How you convert it? This one to this one. So that from this you have to remember this formula. Okay, A, okay, equal to base amount. Nama semua tadi lah 400 ringgit kan? Plus G A G I N. Yeah, that means that is a G is a for 50 ringgit. Okay, A G I tadi berapa? 10%. So N is a 5. So this one refer to the table and you get the answers. Okay, and then plus the base amount. So you will get the number of A. So that you remember this formula. But you have to remember this one is a positive. Okay, if the gradient show this one is a positive side. Okay, but if the gradient here is a negative side. Okay, so it's a negative, you just do the negative. It's the positive. Remember that one. Right, we go to the example for the arithmetic gradient. Okay, the present was of 400 ringgit in year 1 and amount increasing by 30 ringgit per year. Okay, the keyword here is a increasing by 30 ringgit per year. Is a G gradient. Proof year 5 is an N. Interest I per year is closest to what? So that means that just before you just make a two solution. Okay, two calculation. Okay, the first one is the normal one, the base one, 400 ringgit. So A is a 400 ringgit. Okay, mean judge this one. Okay, the first trying to find P. We say P1. Okay, A is given P over A I N. Ataupun we just put it masuk je lah. A is a 400 E over A 12% phi. Okay, the second one is a gradient. Okay, the gradient is a PG, right? Okay, so what is a G? For G is a 30 ringgit. G 12% phi. Okay, so this one just refer to the table, we get the numbers. And the last one is a P plus PG. So we get the numbers. Okay, same as this one. Okay, so the answer is the B. And the cash flow could be converted to the A. Okay, that means you have to pay the same amount every year. So go to the formula. Okay, the A is a base amount, right? Base amount plus G B. So the base amount is a 400 ringgit. Okay, the G is a 30 ringgit. 12%. So you will get this answer. Boleh? Any question?
Doctor.
Yeah.
The A value is for what? The base amount and plus with the gradient. The
Apa
A
dia? Tak
is
faham.
stand for arithmetic or the
Arithmetic ni dia kenaikan dia. Every year. How much money kenaikan dia? That means 30 ringgit kan? Sorry, this one 30 ringgit kan? That means start from year 2, 30 ringgit. Betul. This one is a arithmetic. Kalau arithmetic, you just use this formula. PG. Okay, that's why I said before, you have to divide with the two calculation. The first one is a A1. Okay, based on the A, P is given. Sorry, P. You have to find P. A is given. Okay, the second one is about the arithmetic. Arithmetic is a different numbers from this year number 2 and the year 1. Okay, number year 2 ni dekat N 1 adalah 400 ringgit. Year 2 is a 430. So the gradient is a 30 ringgit. So for the gradient, you have to use this formula. You kena pecahkan dia.
okay, but
the A1 and gradient.
The next question, which is the cash flow could also be converted into an A value The A value is for what? I mean,
Mana the second one tu?
yeah,
A value ni, this one ni.
the 453. Yep.
Okay, yang tu bahasa mudahnya, sorry the foreigners, I will explain in Malay. Contohnya yang this one, this graph ni, kita membayar duit every year. Kata tahun pertama kita bayar RM400, year kedua RM430, year 3 RM460, year 4 RM490, betul?
Betul.
Tapi saya ni, saya tak nak bayar duit tu every year tambah RM30. Saya nak bayar serata, sama.
Oh, I see. Okay,
That's why
faham.
he has to convert it. From you extra every year tu, you kira balik, you kumpulkan balik, that means from year 1, you just to pay RM450 from year 1 until year 5.
Oh, I see.
Maksud dia.
Alright. Okay. So the A
Maknanya
is annual.
Yes, annual. So no
Oh,
need
okay.
to extra lah, 400, 430, 460, 490. You just pay from year 1, 450 until year 5, 450. Itu maksud
Oh,
dia.
I see. Okay. Okay, thank you, Doctor.
So another question you want to ask? Apa lagi? Tak ada?
Doktor,
Tak tahu. Next.
doktor.
Right. Yeah.
Yang A tu kan yang 453 tu, so maksudnya itu base amount lah.
Kita tak cakap sebagai base amount, sebagai duit yang kita bayar start per year pertama sampai year 5. It's not base amount. Boleh juga lah pakai year amount, tapi maksudnya
Purata
kita
lah,
tak nak
purata.
bayar yes, purata.
Oh,
Macam
okay.
kita bayar pada year 1 sampai year 5 dengan that number.
Understand, doktor. Okay, doktor.
So we go next. Yes, about the geometric. Tadi adalah arithmetic gradient. So that means that if you use the arithmetic gradient, you can refer to the table. But in the geometric gradient, it doesn't exist in the table. If you refer to the table, they have a no geometric gradient. That means what? Maksud dia? Maksudnya, that means you have to use only the formula. Anything involve the geometry, you have to use formula. You cannot use the tables because it doesn't exist in the table. Faham Faham So that means that you have to make very familiar with the formula. You refer to the tables. You refer to the formula from the table given in the first page tadi. Just to remember. Alright. So this is a geometric gradient. The geometry means that change by the same percentage each period. That means that for the arithmetic gradient, we say we add same numbers within 8 years kan. Contohnya kita tadi for year 1 RM30, year 2 RM30 and until what years? Same amounts kan. But in the geometric is a same percentage. That means at the year 1 is a 7%, year 2 7%, year 5 10%, is the same percent. But the word here is a amount, different is amount and percentage. But in geometry we got a percentage. If you calculate in the year 1, year 2, year 3, is a give a different numbers lah. That's why we use the percentage. That's a meaning of the geometric gradient. So there's a no tables for the geometric gradient. So if the G not equal to the I, so you can use this formula. If you use G over I, just a simple formula, use this one. But it's a rare lah, jarang ada kita akan bagi G equal to I. So you have to use this formula. Please make sure that you are very familiar with this formula. Make sure that you are very familiar with this formula. So if the G is a negative, that means that Kalau positif, this one kan. Kalau dia terbalik, is a negative. This one is positive. Okay, just change signs. Okay, in front of the both of values. Right. So this example. Okay, find the present worth. Okay, find the present worth of 1,000 ringgit in year 1 and amount increasing by 7% per year through year 10. So we know that is a geometric gradient. Okay, use an interest rate of 12% per year. Sorry, small d. Okay, tadi for the arithmetic, we use the EG, the small g. Okay, for geometry, we use the small g. It's a capital G. Arithmetic is a capital G. For geometry, it's a small g. Okay, make sure the symbol is correct. Use the correct symbol. Problem. Okay, try to make a cash flow diagram. So that means that you have to find the PG. The gradient 7%. It's I and of. So you use the formula. Okay, so it's a 1,000. Okay, it's a A kan, A 1,000. Masukkanlah libatkan I dan juga G. 12% is a 7%. I plus G per I plus 1 plus I, power of 10, per I minus G. Okay, so you get this number. Can boleh? Only use the formula. Okay, good. So you have to find A, multiply P, G by this one. Pakai A tadi. Okay, that mean A ni maksudnya we have to pay the average one, the same numbers. Okay, from year 1 until year 10. So you get these numbers. Okay, just multiple. Okay, so next, the last one is about the interest rate I. Okay, unknown interest rate I. So unknown interest rate problem involves solve for I given n and two others value P, F, O, A. So that means that to find I, you have to try and error virtually. Okay, you have to try and error. That means that the first thing, the procedure here is you have to set up a question based on the question. It's very important. You have to set up the question. Okay? Questions means that P equal to what, or F equal to what, something like that. It's a question. And with all the symbol involved, also for the I. We go the example. Contractor purchase equipment for 60,000 ringgit which provided income. Purchase equipment 60,000 ringgit with provided income 60,000 ringgit per year for 10 years. And the annual rate of return of the investment was closer to what? This means you have to find I. Okay, this means what? So that means that it's up to you. Yeah, it's open to you. You want to use P over A or A over P. Okay, no questionable because we have to find I. But make sure that the formula use the correct way lah. If you use the P over A, make sure that the formula is correct. Or A over P, the formula is correct. So the example here, we're using A over P. Okay, that means you have to ini A over P. That means A equal to P over P I. This means that A is a 60,000. E is a 60,000. AP, I don't know, and it's a 10. Okay, so take this one. So, and then you just divide it. Okay, sini. Right, and this one, you will get this one. After you get this number, okay, after you get this number, okay, refer to the table. Okay, that means that we don't know the I can. Okay, A, P, I, 10. 0.06667. That means that you have to refer to the table, please find the dearest number of this number. Each page. Okay, now mana start from the 1% until to what percent. And then after 4 minutes, okay, that means that I is a between 22% to 24%. So we know that I said before, you cannot give the range number. That means you have to use the interpolation. So refer slide before. How do you refer fraction? That means I is 1 digit. Okay? Understand tak?
Doctor,
Yeah.
how about we use formula to solve for this problem?
Formula.
Yeah.
Pardon your question? Repeat your question.
How about we use the formula to solve for this question? AP factor formula.
AP, huh?
Can or not?
Yeah, no problem. No problem at all.
Okay, okay.
No problem. That's why you can use P over A or A over P. No problem at all because it's already given. P given, E also given. No problem at all. Okay? You can kata dia tidak, you have to find P or find A. No. Then the numbers is given. P is given, A is given. So you can use either one. P over A or A over P. No matter at all. Because the aim, you have to find the I. This is our aim. Okay? Problem at all. Okay? Boleh? Any question? Okay? Boleh Okay? Kalau okay, nanti you try the apa? Tutorial question nanti with this calculator. So the last one is about the n. Okay, the number of n. Actually, the number of n is quite straightforward. Okay, so actually the step is same with the I. So find the I, but the n is quite straightforward lah. So same as before. This means that you have to set up the question. Okay, similar before. So from the example, a contractor purchased equipment for 6,000, provided income 8,000 per year, and an interest rate of 10% per year. The length of time required to recover the investment process 2. So that means that we know that P is given, A is given. So you can use either one, P over A or A over P. So in this example, you using the A over P. So you have to find the n. And then after you divide, we'll get this number. Okay, so refer to tables. Okay, which one the closest one? Okay, but this one only refer at the page 10%. It's differences between the first one. We don't know which one because the keyword to refer to the table is a I. But in the question we don't know the I, so that's why we have to refer each page. Okay, but in this period, okay, or n, we just refer to the year 10 only. At this column. So which one the closest one? So from this page, the closest one is about the 14 to 15 years. Okay, and then we have to do the so you get the answers. Boleh? Any question? It's a summary. So we finish our chapter today. So any question?
No question, Doktor.
Good faham so kalau yang still blur lagi tu, refer back to the slide. Okay, and then slowly I think we will understand. Okay, so ada apa-apa lagi nak tanya? Alright, tomorrow we have a tutorial. Okay, so it means we have a class. Okay, on the 3 o'clock kan, after Jumaat. Okay, so insyaAllah we try to spend 1 hour to do our tutorial. Okay? So anything else before we dismiss class? So I will share.
Excuse me, Doktor.
Yes.
This class punya recording, Doktor akan post dekat YouTube
Yang ni dia kena set dulu. Tengok kalau saya ada link saya akan bagi dekat WhatsApp nanti.
Okay, alright. Terima kasih, Doktor.
Okay, baik. Okay, kalau tak apa, thank you very much. So we see you tomorrow afternoon at 3 o'clock. So thank you very much. Okay, Assalamualaikum.
Thank you, Doktor.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Doktor.
Salam. Thank you, Doktor.